Thank you, Boston. I'm excited to kick off this fireside chat with Adar Michaelis, Global CISO at Discount Bank, one of the leading and largest banks in Israel. Hi, Adar.
Hi. Great to have you here, Rommel.
As you all know, Cyberark takes a customer-first approach, and it's important to hear from our customers on their priorities to help guide us with our initiatives. Today, we have 3,000 employees and 1,000 partners joining us for our global sales kickoff, and it's instrumental for our employees and partners to hear directly from our customers about their needs and challenges. Adar, as our audience can see, we are in your underground security network operations center. I remember visiting you with Udi and Chen a few months ago, and here we are now. It's very impressive.
Well, super exciting to have you and the team over here.
But Adar, before talking about the bank, I would like to hear about you and your journey. So tell us about yourself and your path.
I am the global CISO around the group, which include all the cyber information activities that goes around. I start my journey in 2006 in the bank, and I have done a lot of position in the cyber information security department. I relocated myself in 2016 to Cyprus, and I manage the operation in one of the leading payment company in Europe, which is SafeCharge, that acquired by Nuvei, a huge American payment institute. And I came back to Israel in 2021. Since then, I'm in the bank. Basically, I manage here four main wings. The first wing is the operational, which is including the SOC. It's including the fraud activities, all the SecOp and the development of the security systems and the threat hunting team. The second wing is the guidance, which we are guiding all the projects over here in the bank. The third one is the GRC team, which include all the GRC activities that we need to have, and we have a lot because we are well regulated, as you know. And the fourth one is the role mining and all the authorization that we are providing over here to all the users and all the privileged users around the bank.
Very impressive. We're a couple of weeks into the new year. As a CISO, what keeps you up at night? What are your main challenges that you anticipate dealing with this year?
My kids. Now, seriously. And we are speaking about very uncertainty, period, with a lot of question marks and a lot of things that we need to forecast and we need to manage. Basically, there are a lot of geopolitical changes around which affect the bank and affect the customers. This is the main. This is one of the main things that are disturbing. The second thing is the business. The business is willing to move very fast and they need solutions. They want to execute very, very, very intensively, and we are running after all the security methods and all the security solutions that we need to have in order to stay in the same standard. The third thing I would say is the data. We are dealing with tons of data. We are speaking about roughly 9 tera a day that we are harvesting for the networks. It means that we need to have a lot of insights, and we are willing to understand a lot of things regarding this data, and it's challenging. The fourth thing I would say, it's the fraud activities that goes around, and it's in a very strong connection with the geopolitical change. We're speaking about huge increase in the fraud, and it means that we need to deal very fast with a lot of activities and a lot of very creativity attacks that goes around, and we need to put on place solution to find the normal operation and to keep the business. And the last thing, but it's super challenging, is the supply chain. We are dealing with tons of vendors that we need to protect in the same level that we are protecting our data, and it's challenging.
It seems you have a lot on your plate. Of course, one of the main challenges that carried over from last year is the ongoing war in Israel. Has it changed something in your priorities, or have you seen an increase of cyber attacks on the bank?
Surprisingly, it don't change a lot. Having said that, we have a huge increase on the DDoS attacks and the volume. We're speaking about gigas or gigs that they are trying to get inside and they block our traffic. We are speaking about infrastructure attacks in parallel with the application attacks. And yes, we see a huge increase in the DDoS attack. Having said that, we don't see any change in other aspects, which is good.
Adar, what are the main security initiatives you're driving in the bank this year? And based on that, what are your priorities?
So 2024 is going to be super exciting year over here in the bank because we are delivering here a major project, a major technology project, which contain three main aspects. One is totally new visibility of all our externals application outside. The second one is a huge data layer that we are going to use, and it will be super sophisticated in order to shave the relevant data. And the third one is to change some things in the core to develop them as a microservices and stop to work as a huge monolith, which is super heavy for us. According to that, we have a security initiatives. One is the zero trust. Yes, we build this campus and we want to change totally the way that we are dealing with our workstations, with our assets, and everything by everything over here. And it means that we are not trusting any asset, that we are not trusting anything, and we need to have a lot of checks.
Never trust, always verify.
Totally. And by the way, it's include two main wings inside. One is the secure privilege access, which you are dealing with a lot. And the second is the asset management, and back to basic. And we need to manage our assets in a better way. It's including the patch management, it's including cyber hygienic and a lot of other aspects. This is the first initiative. The second is deepening the security development life cycle. We're investing a lot these days in order to push the security in the application layer and develop well secure. It's super challenging because we are speaking about developers that are willing to move fast and we are not accelerating the business. We need to involve smartly in that regard and we need to move with them. But we need to find the security rules when we are developing and not after that, because after that it's super hard to maintain and to fix.
You want the security to be baked in and not bolted on.
Totally. And it's going to solve a lot of money if we will do it effectively. The third thing is the deep insight and the anomaly activities. Look, in this huge operational organization with a lot of networks and a lot of users, it's super complex to understand what is good and what is bad, what is anomaly and what is not. And we are dealing a lot with extracting the data. We are dealing a lot with the visualization and how do we see the insight, and we need to work a lot in that regard. The last initiative will be the automation processes, which is the SOAR.
So you mean security orchestration, automation, and response tool?
Yes, totally. We are investing a lot in order to automate here the processes and to be more effective.
Impressive. Again, a lot on your plate. A main aspect of the role of the CIO and CISO nowadays is around the generative AI. How do you describe your bank's position on the AI front from a security-first perspective?
Everybody speaks about AI, right? AI is super complex.
We can't have this chat without mentioning AI at least once or twice.
Sure. But in the end of the day, it's a huge question mark. And I will tell you why. Because the business and a lot of units internally willing to use AI, willing to use ChatGPT, willing to use a lot of other tools that is going to make their life easier. Having said that, we understand how complex it is to protect things like those tools, because all the data, everybody is using the data. I mean, all the data is going out and you cannot control the data. And one of the most concerns is that we need to control our data and we need to understand where we are storing it. So it's a huge question mark, effective versus security. And this is something that we need to solve in 2024, or at least start with something and going forward.
So this, the tension between securing the data and increasing the productivity of the employees, this is the main tension.
Totally. So for sure it will be an amazing journey, but we need to understand exactly what we want and exactly how we are going to protect the data.
So my 2 cents on that is that the whole world is still experimenting with generative AI, the implication of it, the risk and the potentials, setting the right guiding principles, developing or evolving into a policy and later on a strategy. It's a way to move forward, learning as you go and making the most out of the AI potential.
I think we are going to start with the solution that we have internally. I mean, for example, if Cyberark was willing to develop something in that regard, I'm pretty sure that it will be something easy to get inside, and from there to move on, because we are trusting the solutions that we have right now. So this is it.
Right? Sounds great. As a customer of CyberArk for many years, how does CyberArk security capabilities help you achieve your initiatives?
First of all, the organization needs to decide if they're all in or not. And it's a very hard question. We are touching a very sensitive user over here in the bank, and we are going to change the way that they are using or accessing the network. And it's super complex because they are changing the way that they are moving and they are acting each and every day. Having said that, is a single point of failure, yes or no? It's a question mark that here in the bank, we understood that it's not, and we keep on and we integrate it and we incorporate it in all the community of the admins. I think CyberArk is giving a great opportunity to deal with this heavy challenge. Right now, we incorporate the PAM, all the platform, and we are using it in the heavy admins that are operating the network over here. And yes, we block the regular access to the servers, which was a really important point in order to move forward. And yes, in 2024, we are going to move forward to the EPM solution, and we're going to integrate it and cut a lot of authorizations around the network and
the local admins.
And to decrease the potential of local admins to harm the network.
So it's nice because you're using CyberArk solution not just to keep yourself safe and secure from an external attacker, but you're actually describing dealing and mitigating the insider threat as well.
Yes, we totally tick in the box in the internal threat, which we said that it's super hard to integrate or to touch this kind of community. So yes, indeed, we are decreasing here the risk in the internal challenge.
From my experience, I can tell you, as the one that uses CyberArk solution, it works. Building on what you just said, I'm going back to what you said in the beginning of our conversation about one of the challenges being the supply chain challenge. Do you use CyberArk solution to assist you solving this issue as well?
Yes, indeed. The supply chain is disturbing us a lot, and we are investing a lot of human resources in order to understand what they are doing, in order to protect ourselves, and in order to fulfill the regulation aspects. Yes, one of the challenges is that how they are getting inside our network. And it means that sometimes they are maintaining a lot of things over the network, and they are doing it remotely. According to that, they are using the PAM platform in order to get inside. We are recording them, we are giving them a challenge response questions, and we are giving them a lot of other aspects in order to enter securely to our organization and to decrease and control what exactly they are doing. So yes, instead of integrating another product that is helping us to solve the security supply chain, we are using CyberArk and it ticking the box in another area, which is protecting our data and our customers from the supply chain.
Another thing I would like you to elaborate a bit about, we at CyberArk invest a lot in maintaining our talents. How do you keep the talent in your organization?
So I think 2023 was a very difficult year in order to keep with talent and in order to save talent, because there is a huge opportunities here around Israel with a lot of startups and a lot of other companies. Basically, we build a huge campus in order, and one of the main reasons that we build it is because we want to save talent. We want to give them as much as possible in order to give them amazing place to work, comfortable place with a lot of activities that goes around, and to make them feel at home over here. And yes, we invest first of all in the campus, which is giving them a huge opportunity in order to grow. Second, we are investing a lot in order to learn them and to keep them up to date with the technology and with the processes and with the cutting edge technology that we are using. And the third thing is for sure all the atmosphere that they have internally, and we invest a lot in order to make them feel good, to make them feel that they have their word, to make them feel that they can change the workplace, to make them feel that they are relevant over here.
At the end of the day, it's all about the people.
It's all about the people.
Adar, you are a very experienced CISO. To conclude this session, I would like to ask you to give our audience one piece of critical advice while we transition to 2024.
It's one advice that's split to two main things. One is be humble, not arrogant. Challenge yourself. Second is back to basic. We need to make sure that the basic are there. Authorization, patch management, asset management, all the things that we discussed before 10 or 20 years, they are still relevant and they are going to make the difference.
So the first thing, it correlates beautifully with one of Cyberark's values, smart, bold, and humble. I couldn't agree more. And second thing, you're saying back to basic, cyber hygiene. Even if we're aiming to the stars and have implementing complex technologies, don't forget the basics.
And we all know how complicated it is to go back to basics.
Sure thing. Adar, I appreciate your time here with us today. We value your partnership and I enjoyed our conversation today.
Thank you.
Now, back to you at the studio.